from Center City in Philadelphia, this is Fox 29 News at 10.
All right, Julie, we want to head back. Thank you so much, Julie. We want to head back to our top story of tonight, the heat that President Obama is taking for not saying the word genocide when talking about the Armenian massacre from 1915. The president responded to the criticism at a weekend getaway with the First Lady in North Carolina. In a statement, it read, quote, "I have consistently stated my own view of what occurred in 1915, and my view of that history has not changed. It is in all of our interests to see the achievement of full, frank, and just acknowledgement of the facts." Now, again, we want to try this again. Is that clear enough? We want to ask Dr. Akotchikian. You are a foreign policy expert from Bentley University near Boston, who happens to be Armenian. Is this good enough? He was darned if he did, darned if he didn't. No matter what he said today, everybody's mad at him.
Well, you're absolutely right, Joyce. It does make everyone mad. Here you have a situation in a sense that for Armenians, the word genocide has a legal ramification as well, or legal sort of justice achieving end as well. So when you do not use the word as a genocide, obviously it makes a lot of people angry. And I don't know if this would be a right way to say it, but the word genocide itself is so important or so sort of endeared to Armenians because it describes the essence of what happened between 1915 and 1918 in Ottoman Turkey, that they ask or they want everyone to use that word, especially President Obama. So by not saying the G word, as a lot of people are arguing, basically he made the Armenians not happy. And by saying the word in Armenian, he used the word medzirern, which is almost the equivalent of Armenian genocide, which it means the great calamity.
But still not good enough, huh?
No, but it wasn't good enough. And actually he made the Turkish side as well angry. So you have, as you said, darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
Now, President Reagan did use the word genocide, right?
He used it once in 1981, and he has been the only president that has used the word genocide as the word genocide. All the other presidents since and before, Carter, President Reagan, Bush, the two Bush presidents, Clinton and Obama, they almost always use the definition of the word genocide without actually using the word genocide.
So President Obama, the difference here is as candidate Obama, he promised that he would say it, but now he's president. Is that a different situation for him? Does he have more of a responsibility now?
Obviously, this is one of the major problems that any candidate faces. They want to get to office, and they do get to office, and they have to make all the promises. This is not uncommon in any presidential candidate or any candidate. So yes, obviously, when he got into the office, obviously the reality of what's at stake and what would the ramifications be of using the word genocide had an impact on his position. While he does actually, this is another interesting thing, by the way, in his words, in his speech, he does say that I stay firm to what I have said in the past. My position has not changed, but I'm not going to use the word genocide. That's actually sort of, I think, more than what previous presidents have done, say for Reagan, but still not enough in terms of what the Armenian community, the Armenian American community is asking for.
So is it a matter of a delicate foreign relations issue here?
Oh, obviously. I think from the Turkish side, one of the major problems and one of the major pressure points that the Turkish lobby and the Turkish government puts on the United States government is that, listen, guys, we have a situation in Iraq. You need our bases. We are your closest ally in northern Middle East, and as such, any kind of, and don't forget the military contracts. So the ramification of using the G word would basically, we're going to withdraw our ambassador. We're going to stop the contracts and so on and so forth. So this is one thing. The realpolitik aspect of the whole situation is one thing, but I think to a large extent it's also not knowing, not bringing to justice, or not facing history aspect, which makes it even more added to the international relations or the regional politics context.
And then he walks a bit of a tightrope, right? Because there's that agreement between Turkey and Armenia to kind of settle their feud and try to live together and reopen the borders there. Everybody's in a tough position, right?
It's actually everybody is in a tough position, but in the Armenian case, the Armenian side is in a tougher position. One thing that we need to distinguish here is that we're talking about the Armenian state, and obviously the Armenian state and the Armenian people are not the same thing in this context, because there are a lot of Armenians all over the world, and the Armenian government is is responsible for its citizens. So in the last 6-7 months, there have been some progress with U.S. mediation to bring both sides together. The U.S. did exercise, along with Russia and France, exercise some pressure on both Turkey and Armenia to come to the table. But see, this is one of the major problems. When you have an unequal relation, you cannot ask both sides to start, negotiating and talking at the same time. The playing field is not equal. On the one hand, you have the victim, which is denied of its victimhood, or which is denied that it's a victim. And on the other hand, you have the perpetrator who denies that it happened. So in order to bring both these sides together, you need to actually level the playing field. And here is
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Thank you so much for joining. We've run out of time. I'm so sorry. We had a problem at the top of the show. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll keep our eye on this one, and we'll check back in with you. Thank you. More effects from that oil rig disaster.